Welcome back to another Champion Deep Dive, and today we're talking about Omega Sentinel. She's got Heal Block, Cowardice, Tracking Debuffs, Plasma, and Incinerate, with a special 3 burst damage that'll have you saying, Omega Sentinel. Let's get into it. Omega Sentinel joins the contest with Cybernetic Nanotech. This is an always active ability, where she reduces the potency of incoming bleed and poison effects by 100%. Now, when inflicted with a bleed or poison effect, Omega Sentinel gains a self-repair buff, healing 20% of missing health over 10 seconds. This ability does not stack, and ends early if she's stunned. Also, Omega Sentinel is immune to the regen reduction effects of poison, allowing her self-repair to work at full capacity. Now, Omega Sentinel has Nano Shifting, where she can rotate through her 3 weapons in the pre-fight screen and start with the chosen weapon active. When landing a second medium attack, Omega Sentinel inflicts the opponent with a weapon-specific effect. In this case, she inflicted a Cowardice debuff with the Nanite Carapace. This reduces special attack damage by 10% for 8 seconds. With her second weapon, Electrostatic Pole, she inflicts a Heal Block debuff, preventing the opponent from healing for 8 seconds. And her third weapon, Plasma Wave, inflicts a Tracking debuff, bypassing the effects of miss for 8 seconds. Now, when landing a heavy attack, Omega Sentinel rotates her current weapon to the next one in line. She'll also pause all personal debuffs on the opponent for 7 seconds. This pausing effect can also be achieved by finishing a combo with a light attack. Now, if the opponent is inflicted with 3 or more of her personal non-damaging debuffs, Omega Sentinel will deal an Incinerate debuff instead, dealing energy damage over 6 seconds. However, when fighting a mutant, she'll deal an identical Plasma debuff instead, both maxing out at 20 stacks. Now, Omega Sentinel has Adaptive Body, granting her immunity to Nullify, Stagger, and Fate Seal effects. When fighting against mutants, her ability accuracy cannot be modified. She'll also gain an indefinite Armor Up buff whenever either champion makes contact with the same basic attack twice in a row. When fighting a mutant, she'll gain an additional Armor Up. Armor Ups max out at 10 stacks. Now, if Omega Sentinel is struck when 10 or more Armor Up buffs are active, she'll consume all Armor Ups, purify any stun debuffs, and gain a 100% chance to auto-block for 2 seconds. Keep in mind, this auto-block can trigger parry, and while defending, this ability only requires 5 Armor Ups instead. Also, when Omega Sentinel would auto-block a hit, she'll inflict an Incinerate debuff on the opponent, and, against mutants, an identical Plasma debuff instead. Now, if she's struck by a heavy attack while auto-blocking, she'll gain a 100% chance to resist a block break. Now, let's check out her special attacks. When activating a special attack, all of Omega Sentinel's personal debuffs are paused for the duration of the special attack, and for 2 seconds afterwards. On contact, she'll consume up to 5 Armor Ups, increasing the duration of all debuffs inflicted or refreshed by this special attack by 1 second per Armor Up consumed. Also, all debuffs triggered by special attacks can trigger through block. With the special 1, the last hit refreshes all personal non-damaging debuffs on the opponent. If there are no debuffs to refresh, Omega Sentinel instead inflicts 2 debuffs with the type and potency determined by her current weapon for 8 seconds. With the special 2, the last hit inflicts an Incinerate debuff. and an additional one for each personal non-damaging debuff on the opponent. Once again, when facing mutants, she'll inflict an identical plasma debuff instead. The Special 3. On activation, consume all personal Incinerate and Plasma debuffs on the opponent, and deal a large burst of energy damage for each debuff consumed. If the opponent is not inflicted with any personal Incinerate or Plasma debuffs, instead inflict 6 Incinerate debuffs, and, you guessed it, when facing mutants, she'll inflict identical Plasma debuffs instead. Now, let's check out her signature ability. When awakened, Omega Sentinel gains Prime Technology. She gains up to 799.72 passive energy resistance for each personal non-damaging debuff on the opponent. And Omega Sentinel Special 2 inflicts an additional Incinerate debuff for each prowess effect on the opponent, up to a maximum of 3. Also, for each armor up that's consumed by a special attack, there's an up to 70% chance for Omega Sentinel to gain a new armor up. Now, let's take her out for a spin in the champion rotation. For longer fights, build up your non-damaging debuffs with your medium ending combos. Once you've got 3, make sure to keep them paused with light ending combos or heavy attacks. Now, your next debuff will become an Incinerate, and can also be paused by light attack ending combos or heavy attacks. Continue to build up Incinerates with medium-medium combos, and alternating with pausing those debuffs while working up to the Special 2. When available, perform a light attack ending combo, and immediately launch the Special 2. This resets your pause timer, and pauses those Incinerates you place with the Special 2 while you build on more Incinerate debuffs. From here, maintain your debuffs on the opponent and work to the Special 3 with your Incinerate Stacks. At the end of the attack, Omega Sentinel deals a large burst of passive damage to the opponent. Rinse and repeat until your opponent is knocked out. For shorter fights, build up debuffs on the opponent the same way as you would with the longer fights example. Work to the Special 2 while maintaining your debuffs, and launch when available to place those Incinerate or Plasma debuffs. From there, use the Special 1 to refresh your non-damaging debuffs to help maintain your Incinerate or Plasma stacks, leaving them with little or no health. Now, let's check out some best uses. With Cybernetic Nanotech, Bleed and Poison inflict 0 damage while gaining self-repair. So nodes like Biohazard or Caltrops are not only a breeze, but you can use them as a way to top off some health too. Easy access to multiple debuffs and pausing them in place are great for nodes like Diss Track. Nano Shifting offers a variety of utility, like easy access to Cowardice through Nanite Carapace, making those encounters with prowess a little easier. With Electrostatic Pull, take on healing champions or nodes like Aggression Regeneration with Heal Block. And Plasma Waves tracking debuff counters miss, so Tunnel Vision or Faltering Mind are easily countered by Omega Sentinel. Of course, there are more than just these uses. Where would you use Omega Sentinel? Sound off in the comments below. Now, let's check out some notable synergies. Oil is thicker than blood. With Sentinel on the team, Omega Sentinel's Incinerate and Plasma debuffs inflicted by medium combo enders instantly power drain the opponent for 5% of their max power. With Sentinel, knocking down an opponent removes 1 prowess effect from them. Alpha and Omega. With Professor X or Magneto House of X on the team, Omega Sentinel's self-repair buffs last for an additional 35 seconds. With Professor X and Magneto, they'll gain an additional persistent charge whenever an opponent is defeated. Sentenced to Death. With Captain Britain or Psylocke on the team, Omega Sentinel, when inflicting the opponent with a Cowardice debuff, she'll remove one prowess effect from the opponent. With Psylocke, knocking an opponent down with a heavy attack grants Psylocke 2 Psy charges. Identical CPUs. With Nimrod on the team, Omega Sentinel gains a solo synergy, where whenever any hit from the opponent's special attacks does not make contact with her, she'll inflict them with a shock passive, dealing 15% energy damage over 6 seconds. Different but the same. With Omega Red on the team, Omega Sentinel gains a solo synergy, where for each armor up consumed during a special attack, she'll inflict an armor break passive on the opponent, removing an armor up buff and reducing armor rating by 10% for 6 seconds. Now, did you see a synergy that got your synapses firing? Thinking of a new synergy team? Let us know your thoughts below and let's discuss. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Omega Sentinel. Are you ready? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if y'all liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the battle round.